Welcome back to Man vs. Meeple, the show where we talk about everything board game related. Today we're going to give you a preview of the upcoming game by Indie Boards and Cards, and it is called Trickster, and it's by Daniel Solis,
yes,
who was the creator of a very popular game called Kodama, which just kickstarted last year.
Yeah, that's one of their big ones, and this is his next one that they're bringing out. It's on Kickstarter right now.
Yeah.
This is a trick-taking game.
Yeah.
And it's more than that, because it's a trick-taking game that has like 3 different ways you can follow suit, which is really interesting.
And the cards have powers, which is really kind of cool. Each of these cards that you're playing has unique abilities when you play them. So you're doing something with them, plus you're trying to manage your tableau of things that you have in front of you.
Plus, the big twist is the lead player isn't the one who sets the suit, if you will.
Yeah.
It's going to be the second player in a round,
right,
who is referred to as the Trickster.
Right.
And they're the ones who are going to determine whether you're following suit via color, via the character that you're playing, or nothing at all, where everyone has to play something different than everyone else.
So the game works like this. In the base game, there are 10 different characters, and these are like soldiers or peddlers, nomads, all kinds of different things. And within each of those sets of cards, there's 7 different ones of them.
Right.
And each of those people have different backgrounds on them. So those are called dimensions. That's what they're calling them in the game.
colors are called dimensions.
Right.
Yes.
So there's 7 peddlers, there's 7 soldiers, and each of them have a different background. Right. You're going to play with 7 of the 10 base characters. You're going to mix them all up. So you're going to have a deck of 49 cards.
Yeah, and that's cool too, because one game from the next can be different.
Yeah.
You're going to pick any 7 different cards, but it's going to give you a totally different flavor every time you play. You might get used to this one character that you like playing, and then he's not, you know, he or she are not in the game.
So what's going to happen is at the start of the game, each player will be dealt 7 cards. When those 7 cards are dealt, they'll look at their hand. You're also going to place 3 cards in what we call the pot or the trash.
Yeah, the trash.
And then each player simultaneously will take one of their cards and place them face down and then reveal them at the same time.
Right. Yeah, basically the cards you're taking, starting with this first card, are in a tableau in front of you.
Yeah.
These first cards aren't cards that are being played, but they're part of the cards you're going to be scoring at the end of the round.
Right, right.
Yeah, so the trick-taking portion is interesting. Like we said earlier, the first player is going to play their card. Say I play the guard. Jeremy then would have the option as a second player, or the trickster, to play another guard, a yellow card in this instance, or something that's neither of those.
Yeah.
And then if he chooses the neither, every player has to play something completely different than all the cards played cumulatively.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting.
And the same way with the guards. If I follow suit with a guard, everybody has to play a guard.
Or a yellow.
If I play yellow, everyone has to follow suit. But when you play your card, you also get to take the ability of the card.
Right, when you play
whatever it does. When a player cannot do that, though, and they don't have the card to follow suit, they have to take all the cards from the pot and place them in front of them.
They basically, you bust if you can't follow suit. You take the cards in front of you. And that can be, what's interesting is it can be a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah.
Because the way the scoring works is kind of unique. It's not as straightforward as one might think.
Right. So there's a game out there called Parade, which has a similar kind of scoring system. It's really cool, though. Once a player plays the last card from their hand in a round, that signifies the end of one of the 3 rounds in the game. Every player, with whatever remaining cards they have in their hand, they're going to play them in front of them as if they had played them through the course of the game. They don't get the ability of them, of course.
Right.
And then the players are going to count the 7 different dimensions. So if you have 4 blue cards or 4 red cards, you're going to look around the table to see whoever has the most.
Yeah, and if you have the... In this game, having the most cards
can be good.
It can also be bad.
Right.
Is if you have a lot of cards but not the most, bad.
Right. So how it works is you're going to look at each of the 7 colors or dimensions in the game, and if you have the most, you remove them from the game right then and there. You don't score points for them. If you are tied with the most, you and then that same person and everyone else at the table will score points for whatever that color card is.
Right, and in this game, you don't want points.
Yes.
You know, the fewest points wins.
Right.
So if you have every color in front of you and only one of them,
you're probably going to score 7 points.
That's not a good thing. Yeah, that's about 7 points usually in a round. So what you want to do is have some heavy suits at the end of a round that you have the majority in.
Right.
And not a lot of 1s and 2s.
Exactly. So once that is done, you're going to tally up the score, and then you're going to do that 3 times in a row. So you're going to play 3 full hands of that, and whoever has the least amount of points wins.
Exactly.
So it's meant to be a very, very short, quick, light 30-minute filler game. And what's unique about it, as we previously said, is that there's a lot of different cards in there. You have 10 cards from the base set, and you're only going to use 7 of those. But also there's an expansion that has 7 more cards in it, all of them unique, of course, and have unique abilities within them.
Yeah, the abilities are really interesting too. When you, like we said earlier, when you play a card, you get to invoke the ability.
Yeah.
And this is going to allow you to manipulate the tableaus around the table.
Yeah.
So it might let you switch cards with another player in their hand.
Yeah.
It might let you take a card from someone else's tableau, put it in yours. And then there's some that can let you take cards out of your tableau. So if you're afraid that's going to be a point at the end of the round, you can just get rid of it and dump it in the trash.
It's also great for cycling cards in your hand. If you see that you have the same either characters or the same backgrounds, you want to, of course, have a good mixture in your hand so you can match suit or follow suit,
right,
or go different than everyone else, because you don't want to be stuck taking all the cards at the end of a round.
Exactly.
So a lot of those abilities will key off that, as you said. So
yeah, it adds an interesting layer of strategy that most trick-taking games don't have.
Right.
In that you're constantly looking around the table at what the other players have to determine, okay, he's heavy in red, so I'm going to try to get rid of that. Or maybe I can beat him and take his red, so now that I have the majority.
Right.
It brings those abilities into play significantly. We've played with about 7 to 10 of the main abilities. We haven't tried the expansion ones yet, so it'd be interesting to try all of those and mix and match.
And artwork is absolutely beautiful in this game, too. I mean, they did a really good job evoking the characters. I know thematically you're supposed to be playing the Trickster himself, and you're manipulating all these humans to do things for you. So, but the artwork is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, I think it's Beth Sobel, right?
Yeah, it is Beth Sobel. So anyway, guys, go check that out. That is on Kickstarter right now. It's by Daniel Solis at Indie Boards and Cards. Make sure you guys make comments below on our YouTube channel. Subscribe to us, please. Like us on Facebook.
Absolutely.
Follow us on Twitter and everything else that we do here at Man vs. Meeple, and we will catch you guys next time.
Bye-bye.